What if you could turn the best parts of images that you like into a clean prompt to create images with the same features? In this video of the Prompt in Focus series, I show you a prompt that I used to build an application in AI Studio. And with this app you can upload an image into the app and it then analyzes it and it creates a clean professional prompt for you. And it doesn't just describe the image, it lets you choose specific things, specific parts of that image, like the lighting, the colors, the composition and the camera setup. And you can then reuse those parts to create new images in a similar style. My name is Ruben Stom and I make videos around AI and design, and if that's something that you're interested in, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and I hope you enjoy. I used to be very active in online communities about image prompting, and we shared the images and the prompts that we created so everyone could learn from each other. And an activity in one of the communities was trying to recreate existing images to improve our prompting skills. But now when I see something that I like, instead of guessing the prompt to achieve a similar result, I can use my own app, upload the image that I like and let AI analyze it. Then based on what I select, the app generates a clear prompt. And this enables me to generate images with similar features as the reference image, like a similar lighting or a similar composition. So let's dive in the prompt that I used to create the application, and I'll then show you the result and how the application actually works. The prompt that I used in AI Studio to create the application is set up as a clear 5-step workflow. And in each step I tell the AI model, which is Gemini 3, to do one specific thing. Before starting with the actual steps, I explain the AI model what its task is. And he should build an application that extracts visual elements from the reference image and translate them into a clear prompt by using the following steps. In the first step I tell it to analyze the image, and I let the user upload one image and I explicitly tell the AI to analyze it silently. I don't want any output yet. And this step is only there so the model fully understands the reference image. In the second step, I tell it to generate the full prompt internally. And when the user clicks generate, I instruct the model to create a complete prompt based on the image. But I tell it not to show the prompt yet. The third step is where I add control with tags. And here I tell the model to turn every visual detail into a toggle. And things like lighting, color palette, the composition or the camera angle can be turned on or off. I created these tags based on things that I find important to mention in a prompt when generating images, but you can play around with these to your own liking. And I also tell it to update the prompt in real time as these tags are selected. In the fourth step, I tell it how to output the prompt. I instruct it to show the final prompt in a clean text area and add a copy button. And the important part is that only the selected elements are included in the copied prompt. And in the final step, I clearly define the goal. So I tell the AI model that the purpose is not to copy the original image, but to extract reusable visual qualities. Things like the lighting, the framing, or the overall style, so they can be reused in completely new images. And that's what this prompt is really doing. I'm telling the AI exactly how to think, when to output, and how much control the user should have over the final result. So here's the result, and before I show you the application, I want to express how unbelievably smart Gemini 3 is. So although the prompt was very complete and structured, it understood everything perfectly on the first try. Okay, so I can upload an image, and as you can see, the other features are hidden for now. And after uploading a reference image, the Generate Analysis button is revealed, and as the name suggests, this starts the analysis by the AI model. And look at how nice and clean that small loading animation looks. And that's something that I like to briefly mention. The design of this app looks so good for a reason. The result you're seeing here is created with two prompts. The first prompt is the one that I showed you earlier, and the second one is a styling prompt that I copied from my own UI design library. And if you haven't seen that video already, I created my own UI design library to easily copy and paste design styles, making the apps that I create look good with just one prompt. And I'll leave a link in the description in case you're interested in watching that video. In the meantime, the analysis is done and the application now shows two new sections. The first section is where I can refine the prompt, and here I can choose which specifics I want to include in my prompt. For example, do I want a prompt that describes the lighting and the shadows and the camera angles? And the third section is where the output is shown. And this is the prompt that is ready to use in AI image generators. It's based on the filters that I selected in the second section of the application, and when I toggle the filters, the prompt updates in real time. And when I've selected everything that I want in the application, I can click the copy button in the text box. The app comes very close to what I had in mind when writing the prompt, and the only question that remains is how accurate the generated prompt actually is. Because what is the purpose of the app if the output isn't what I was hoping for, right? I'm using Nano Banana Pro to test the prompt that the app created. And this is the most accurate image model currently out there, and it's just like AI Studio, a Google product that uses Gemini 3. And I'm basically going to test whether it understands its own prompt. So I figured that the best way to test the prompt's accuracy is to paste it in its entirety and generate the image, and then we can see how close the result comes to the initial reference image. For the first test, I used an image that I created in last week's video, and here's the first result, and honestly it comes very close. So the first thing that I notice is the overall look and feel. It really matches the reference image, and the composition and the camera angle and the colors, they're all spot on. And look at those props as well, they are accurately created and laid out. And the only thing that I would say it missed the mark on is the shadow overlay. So the long drop shadows are somewhat similar, but the large triangular shadow that casts onto the original scene is completely missing from the generated image. And when I go back to the prompt, you can see that it indeed mentioned the long soft shadows and the light source, but not the large triangular shadow. So all in all, I would say the prompt is more than 90% accurate. And it's always about finding that balance between including too much information, which can cause the AI model to leave out certain elements, and not including enough information, which makes the model invent details. The first prompt is a real success, and I tried a second test using a scene with a MacBook mockup. And this scene has more details and a very clear angle, a lighting style and a setting, so this is a bit more challenging for the AI model. And again, the result is exactly what I hoped for. It somehow flipped the scene horizontally and used different textures in some areas, but apart from that, it comes so close that you can now use parts of this prompt to start creating images with the specific qualities that you like. By using this application and workflow, and by taking specific parts from the generated prompt, you can really build your own unique image style. And I also have some additional features and adjustments in mind, like storing previous prompts in a database and generating images directly from within the app. And feel free to let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see me build, or if you have any other questions, then just let me know and I'll make sure to answer them. And in case you want to try the prompt that I used in AI Studio yourself, I added a free download link to the description of this video. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel for more AI and design related videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.